Good evening. On behalf of Chani and myself and our executive committee, I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening and for all of your support. Thank you very much. This evening's event is thanks to many tireless hours of planning and support by the hosts of this event. Chani and I are humbled by these three couples, Brad and Leslie Levy, Susan and Seville Levy, and Donna and Rudy Troisi. They were always available, ready to go above and beyond to ensure that the success of this event. So if I can continue our tradition and have you join us up front, we'd like to give you a token of our appreciation. And this year we chose these beautiful Kiddush fountains, which for us, Chani and I, we have a painting in our home that is a cup overflowing. It's one of the things that we always do when we make Kiddush, and that is that your blessing should always overflow. So this is from us, an overflowing cup of blessings. And again, the inscription, this one is for Donna and Rudy Troisi. It says, presented in deep appreciation to Donna and Rudy Troisi from Smile on Seniors of Arizona, October 29th, 2017. A month or so ago, we hosted an evening at Nate and Dale Sachs' home for all of our Chai Club members. And if you're not familiar with the Chai Club is a group of individuals and families that have committed to give a monthly donation to Smile on Seniors to help us with everything we do. And the event was held on one of the busiest weeks, if I can say that we've had. It was right before Rosh Hashanah. We were in the middle of all of our pre-high holiday programs in retirement communities. I think we did 14 that season. This is just a couple weeks ago, or a month and a half ago. And in addition to that, we were having our first Shabbat dinner for seniors of the season, just after the summer. And of course, we had everything else that goes on. I think on the day of that Chai Club event, I had gone to someone who was in hospice, and I'd also put up a mezuzah at someone's door in a retirement community. And it was really hard to come up for air that week. But it brought home the fact of why we so appreciate every single one of these individuals and members that are part of our Chai Club, because they truly enable us to do what we're here to do, which is to focus on the seniors, to focus on the engagement, to bring Judaism to people where they are, and just to be there for the seniors. And knowing we had this steady stream of support backing us up enabled us to do that. So this group is growing, thank God, and we are so thankful and grateful for every single one of these partners. So thank you very much. I'd also like to thank every single one of our supporters throughout the year. In addition to all the individuals that are here this evening, and again that were not able to make it, I do want to mention a number of organizations or businesses or groups that have supported us this past year, the Jewish Federation being one of them, and we appreciate that Marty, their new executive director, is here, so thank you. The Benjamin Goldberg Memorial Trust, there are a couple of members of that board that are here as well, so thank you very much for your support. And the Jewish Women's Philanthropy Circle that has gifted us the past couple of years, so thank you as well for your support. We cannot do this, what we do, without the support of every single individual organization, and thank you it's never enough to say just thank you, but thank you. In addition, there is an amazing group that truly makes Smile on Seniors what it is, and that is our volunteers. And we're so fortunate to have every single one of our volunteers. They give up their time, they're devoted to exactly what we are to our community seniors, and truly everything that we have accomplished and why we are what we are is because of these volunteers. So thank you very much to all of our volunteers. Not an alcoholic. I know that it takes every single one of the above-mentioned groups to truly be successful, and there's really one more person that really makes Smile on Seniors what it is, and that is my wife, Chani. I know I share this every single year, but I do a lot of legwork. You might see me out there, But the vision, the ideas, what I say the captain of Smile on Seniors is really Chani, and if you volunteer with us, you know that. I wait for my cues. I try to do it right. So her clarity, her planning, and everything in between, and might I add, it doesn't hurt to have delicious food. It is truly what makes Smile on Seniors so successful. So I know we can't thank Chani enough, but
where is she?
That's enough. And I would like to make a l'chaim to everyone here, to thank Hashem, to thank God publicly for all the good that He bestows upon us, and most importantly, for bringing us all together. Because this is really what Smile on Seniors is. So thank you very much, and l'chaim to continued success. L'chaim. Tonight, I'd like to give a brief bird's eye view of what Smile on Seniors does in this community. And every year I try to introduce something else that we do to share how we're engaged in this community. Smile on Seniors, if I would say a tagline, provides Jewish engagement and social opportunities to local seniors of all ages and stages, regardless of their financial standing. Recently, from a conversation with some seniors at a discussion with the rabbi at the JCC, something dawned on me. This man was asking me random Jewish questions, and we were discussing the various items that he brought up, and he remarked that he never had an opportunity in his lifetime to really ask any Jewish question to a rabbi. And I was caught off guard, because I'm not talking about a 20-year-old. We're talking about someone who's older than me, has moved around. Phoenix was not his original birth home, and he's traveled for work, for business, and now he is retired to the valley. And I couldn't understand how he had never had an opportunity like this before. But I appreciated what we do, that we are accessible to every single senior, always. And I'm fortunate that they feel comfortable to ask those questions. On any given month, Chani and I do 13 or more discussions with the rabbi or tea and talk with Chani. Just our two different approaches to discussions. In retirement communities, at our center at the JCC, this is how we make ourselves accessible, that people can study something that they want, something that, I always say when I come to discussion, I have text prepared, but if you have a question, just ask it and I'll put my book on the side. And this is what we do. We're constantly trying to reach out to more seniors. And of course, one of the ways that we do that is we go to seniors that live in retirement communities, in addition to the seniors that are independent and living on their own. In one bid to get acquainted with a very affluent retirement community, Chani was speaking with this senior who was influential in the activity department, and she told Chani, and I quote this, she heard that Smile on Seniors is for lower income seniors. And Chani really, I think till today, hasn't been able to convince this woman otherwise. The fact is that we're here for all seniors. Our mission and our policy has been, and always will be, that no senior on a fixed budget income should ever have to make a decision whether they can afford to come to one of our events or programs or whatever offering we have because their fixed budget or their fixed monthly income makes them make these choices. And of course, there are plenty, and most of our community seniors, thank God, they don't need to ever think about these things. But our policy has always been, this should never be a choice they have to make. And at one of our recent Shabbat dinners, our first one in September, there was all this buzz between the volunteers, parked in the closest spots, which means they came the last people. They took a spot, we had a cone in. Parked in one of the closest spots to the front door is a beautiful car. And all the volunteers are trying to figure out, whose car is this? Who's the senior that came in this Rolls Royce, a gold Rolls Royce convertible? And this is the beauty, though. The beauty is that inside the building, no one knows. Inside the building, we all sit together. We're all one group, one family. On an average, we now have over 230 participants at our monthly Shabbat dinners. And last year, Last year, we hosted our largest Shabbat dinner to date, which had 287 people in the room. And this is a good problem. And I know that I mentioned last year in a blip, and I mentioned this year in a blip. How do you maintain the room size to do that? There's no answer. The answer is to build. And that's really how our vision has been since that dinner. It made the conversation real. How do we make sure that as these numbers continue to grow, thank God, to make sure everyone can fit? And that's all we want to do. We want people to fit and be comfortable. But again, our largest was 287 people in that room. We sit as one. We sit as one family. And the fact is, we care about our family. And we care about our seniors. We have 134 volunteers who share this care, with 44 friendly one-on-one visits each month to seniors who are either isolated or just seeking friendship. They might not be isolated. They're just seeking friendship or companionship. And I know that I can bore you with numbers as if you were at a shareholders meeting with all of the amounts of different attendees at each event, but I'll just share some of those events without the numbers. We have Maj that is done by a number of volunteers in different retirement communities. We even host games at our center sometimes. There's Bridge that happens in one retirement community every month. There's challah bake workshops that happen throughout the communities. We have monthly lunches, social hours, Shabbat dinners, hospital visits, and sadly, of course, hospice visits, and everything else that you'll find in our program guide that were on your seats. A note that we received from Maxine, and this is a quote: "The feeling of friendship I always leave with stays with me until the next event I attend. It's notes like these that bring it home." I'm just going to end with a note that we received from Elaine and her husband Barry. Elaine is a woman who's living in a long-term care community or facility who felt very forgotten by her people, by her family. And she wrote us a note after we were there for a program, for a Hanukkah event. And she said, "Thank you so much." This is just part of her long letter that was in a really difficult handwriting to read. She wrote, "Thank you so much for all you are doing for us, the lost little band of Jews at long-term care. Because of your support and partnership, our seniors are not lost in this valley. We are there for our family, and it's because of you. Thank you very much."